elites are benefiting. Same with the coronavirus pandemic. Oh, it didn't start here, it started there. Who cares? Who's benefiting from this situation? Residents with insurance or government aid may get funds to rebuild, but those payouts could take years and recipients may find it won't be enough to pay rent or buy an alternate property in the interim. Oh, bye-bye. Good luck. Good luck in your tenements and project buildings. Hey, there's some land suddenly available. Zuckerberg! Bill! Meanwhile, Mark Zuckerberg doesn't work the land on his Hawaii ranch, but he and other wealthy landowners still benefit from huge agricultural tax breaks. The scheme allows the super rich to hoard wealth at the expense of the general public. If you don't pay tax, it's a big problem. Do you want to fund all these wars that you're paying for? $900 each you're paying for the Ukraine war over there per annum. Do you want to do that? Well, see what happens if you stop doing it. You'll be getting a tap, tappity, tap, tap, tap on your front door. Believe you me. So, do we live in a society where there are different rules for wealthy elites? Do wealthy elites benefit from situations that are disasters for ordinary people? Let me know in the comments. Thousands of acres of farms and pastures once held by scions of plantation-era aristocracy are being gobbled up by new money billionaires and global investment firms. These lands make for appealing additions to an investment portfolio not only for their prime location and skyrocketing value, but because they are eligible for huge agricultural tax break programs that save landowners millions on their property tax bills. The laser is irrelevant. It's like a poetic imagining of the corruption that's taking place. It feels like there is a conspiracy. The sense is that things seem to always go well for the most powerful interests. So it doesn't matter if there's a literal event like the sparking of an actual fire or the invention of a virus. Who knows? Let's wait for proof. Let's wait for proof. One thing that's demonstrably true is these disasters appear to advantage the already advantaged elites that benefit from these systems being set up in the way that they already are. And of course, that's the point of these systems, to ensure that power structures are maintained, that they can't be broken down, that people don't have a voice, that they're not able to discuss alternative views or propagate alternative opinions or organise political parties to oppose the existing structures. That's how it operates. Recipients of these breaks include meta-billionaire and world's 13th or so richest man, Mark Zuckerberg, and his wife Priscilla Chan, who save upwards of $300,000 in property taxes each year on their 1,400-acre North Shore ranch. ProPublica's 2021 reporting laid out how through an array of borrowing schemes, deductions and write-offs, the uber wealthy managed to pay unconscionably low income tax rates, with the 25 richest Americans paying a true tax rate of only 3.4%. But reporting on state and local property tax breaks and agricultural tax breaks specifically remains limited. These huge discounts for agricultural land are yet another piece of tax policy that allows the super rich to hoard more and more wealth at the public's expense. Those lost revenues must be replaced by higher taxes on other, usually poorer people, or cuts to social services. On an island facing a massive housing crisis, the median home price often tops $1 million. Affordable housing projects often find themselves wanting for that missing funding. So those savings that are made by rich elites have to come from somewhere, and how many affordable houses will be built after this disaster? Bill Gates began buying up tracts of land in 2013 and is now the largest owner of farmland in the country with 270,000 acres. Other billionaires like Bezos, Buffett and Ted Turner are in on the game as well, each controlling thousands of acres, to the extent that young farmers looking to buy land are being priced out of the market. Part of the rationale for preferential tax treatment of agricultural land is the hope that tax savings will trickle down to leasehold farmers in the form of lower rents. Does this pan out? There is no public oversight on those decisions. So it's just an assumption. It's like the way that often government by science is government by favour and government by buddy accords, just agreements between political allies. What's been described there is like a modern day equivalent of the feudal system. The baron owns the land, the serfs till the lands, they'll get some benefits, or at least an occasional turnip. One of the conspiracy theories is, of course, that these fires were started deliberately to benefit rich elites, like BlackRock. Now look at the Ukraine war. Ukraine have already done a deal with BlackRock to rebuild their nation using BlackRock investment. If you apply that mentality to this situation, if BlackRock end up benefiting from the fires in Hawaii, then the conspiracy theory is almost a redundant detail. Did they start it? Didn't they start it? Is it inevitable that the suffering of ordinary people leads to the benefit of rich elites and massive organizations like BlackRock and billionaires across the globe? And why is Bill Gates buying all this agricultural land when he's not a farmer and he's not using it in the way that these breaks were set up to be used? Doesn't it all feel like a kind of macro conspiracy that's so diffuse, institutional, oddly abstracted and bureaucratically opaque that sometimes you just want to simplify it into they started this fire, they started it with a laser from space. And whether it's true or not, it not only feels true, in terms of its results, it is kind of true. There is a conspiracy to keep you poor and to benefit rich elites. But it's everywhere. It's almost like water to a fish. It's not a conspiracy, it's just the environment you live in. You live in corruption. Every time there's a disaster or fire, you bet it's going to benefit elites. You bet the poorest people are going to suffer more. Every time there's a pandemic, you bet they're going to control you more and rich interests are going to benefit from it. We might not find a smoking gun or a beaming laser, but you can be sure that BlackRock and the world's most powerful individuals will benefit down the line from this disaster. The trouble is, by then, me and you, unless we're very, very careful, will be focusing on the conspiracy theory or the tragedy of 2024 or 2025. So for now, let's focus on those that are truly suffering. The people of Hawaii who have lost their lives and who have lost their homes. But let's not get so caught up in grief that we forget how these disasters are exploited by the powerful that benefit from a system that seems to be advantaged every time there's a disaster for ordinary people. But that's just what I think. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments below? If this video was useful to you, share it around, watch one of these, turn on the notification bell and subscribe right now. But more important than any of that is that you please, if you can, stay free.